Breaking news, special edition. Vic, it's a very, very important day today.
It is, Jonathan.
What is it?
This is a special edition of our podcast. We usually don't put it out on Monday, but today is June the 29th.
What does that mean?
June the 29th, 2020 is the 33rd anniversary of my not guilty verdict. Yay! Vic. Praise the Lord. If that verdict had gone the other way, I might be eligible for parole this year, but probably not.
Wow.
Yeah. Because in federal time, you do the time, man.
You do the time.
You do the time. And so I was looking at a lot of years, and that'd have put it on me. I mean, Jan Patterson had bragged that Vic Feazell would be seeing the snows of Leavenworth by Christmas.
It's crazy.
And the only time he'll ever get to see his little boy will be through a thick glass in the visiting room at Leavenworth. Wow. Yeah, she was one mean person. We're going to get into her a lot later. But on our podcast for our listeners, we have 4 categories. We have our podcast, which is our major one that we usually put out on a Tuesday, that follows the timeline, follows Henry Lucas, follows the trial, follows the Below, the verdict, the case against Below.
All the big stuff.
The big stuff. That's the podcast. Then we have our mini podcast. That's where we kind of fill in the gaps in between. A lot of times those come out on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And then we have our mini podcasts.
Like public service announcements.
Bitty, the Paquito podcast. Those are public service announcements and talking to our listeners about their insurance policies, how to understand them, what you need, what to do if you're in a car wreck, and those sorts of things. And then today is our very first ever special edition.
Special edition.
This is a special edition podcast.
It comes but once a year. At least your anniversary does.
This one does. And also today, Gary Richardson will be getting his 32nd box of fancy cigars from me.
That's right. Every year.
Every year.
I've actually ordered them for you a couple times. You have.
Every year I send him to be delivered on June 29th, because Gary usually forgets that it's the anniversary, but I never forget, because I know that I wouldn't even be eligible for parole yet.
God.
So I send Gary a box of cigars, and for the last 32 years, they've always come from Don's Humidor, right here in Waco, Texas. They take real good care of us over there. I've been dealing with Don's Humidor, since Don owned it. Don doesn't own it anymore, but they still have the name.
Wow.
But I've known it since, I've been buying stuff there since the original owner had it.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man.
God.
But they take real good care of us, and they're not one of our sponsors, but if you ever need something from a humidor, good cigars or anything that goes along with it. I don't smoke, but I know people who do. And so I would go there to buy stuff for them. So Don's Humidor. So Gary, if you're listening, I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for sticking with me through that. I hope you enjoy the cigars that show up at your doorstep today. And smoke one for me. And if I ever get to travel again, I'm going to go to a state where weed is legal, and I'm going to smoke one of them for you.
There you go. That's funny, man.
I'm going to burn one down, Gary. So you burn one of those cigars for me, and next time I get to go to Colorado, I'll burn a big blunt for you.
There you go.
Today, what we're going to do is just play some video from the courthouse steps on June 29th, 1987, the day that I was found not guilty.
An obviously happy McLennan County District Attorney Vic Feazell said just moments ago, the smoke is cleared and he's still standing. Feazell was found not guilty about an hour ago by a federal jury in Austin of charges he accepted bribes from Waco attorneys.
Wayne, McLennan County District Attorney Vic Feazell was acquitted of bribery and conspiracy today by a federal court jury in Austin. The not guilty verdict came down shortly before noon. There was cheering and applause in the courtroom. Minutes later, Feazell and his attorney Gary Richardson walked outside of the courtroom, outside of the courthouse, and said they were relieved and very excited.
All right. Vic, can we get your reaction real quick?
Well, I'm happy. God has been on my side from the day one. None of this would have ever happened if I hadn't stepped on the big boys' toes. As long as I was going after the crooks that didn't have badges, I was everybody's hero. I thank God, and I thank my lawyer, Gary Richardson. I have the best lawyer in the United States of America, and our investigator, Bill Deere. The smoke is cleared, the dust is settled, and I'm still standing, and I'm going back to Waco.
If there was one thing that really helped your case, what would you say it was?
A lot of prayers and a lot of hard work from my lawyer.
But in particular, of the hard work, the things that went on in the courtroom, what tactic or line of questioning?
No tactic, just bringing the truth to the jury.
What is your next business? What are you going to do tomorrow?
Get a lot of stuff moved back to Waco.
He's got a capital murder case to prosecute.
I have 5 capital murder cases to prosecute.
Has this damaged your political career at all, do you feel?
I don't know if I want a political career. We'll wait and see later on down the line.
Did you get a chance to see the Untouchables this week?
I did, and I made a mistake by saying I was going to root for Al Capone. He was a pretty bad guy. I wound up not rooting for him after all.
What do you think, Mr. Richardson?
Well, I'm excited. I think justice was done. I felt all along that Vic should be exonerated. We did have some breaks. I've always heard that the harder you work, the more breaks you have. We've worked hard. We've worked many nights till 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's been a tough case, but we feel great.
What were some of the breaks? What technically went your way?
Well, there were several things. Timing on some things went our way. I'd have to sit down and think about some of the things to be specific, but we had some breaks.
How do you feel, Bernie?
I'm so glad because we get to go home and see our baby again. And it's been 6 weeks without getting to see him very much, and I want to go home and see my boy.
I tell you what I am concerned about, and that is if Congress and the judiciary doesn't do something soon about the FBI and the Justice Department, we are on our way to becoming a fascist nation and a police state. Our founding fathers never intended us to have a national police force who could just decide to go after people they didn't like. And that's what RICO and mail fraud and some of these other statutes have been used for. Something's got to be done to change that around, or we will not be a free people much longer.
As I'm sure you can imagine, Prosecutor Jack Frales was very disappointed. He said that he thought he had failed in bringing home to the jury what the investigation into Feazell really was all about and what really it revealed.
Hi, I'm Vic Feazell. During these trying times, you might want to just stay home. And at the law offices of Vic Feazell, we understand. That's why we're set up to handle your personal injury claim without you even having to come in. Just give us a call, and we'll take it from there. We can send any paperwork straight to your smartphone or computer. Don't delay, because if we don't put money in your pocket, you don't owe us anything. I'm Vic Feazell.